Hey everybody, this is Brad. I'm going to give you behind the scenes of another corporate event that I was working at this week. It involved PvP and ProPresenter a whole lot. Introduce you to a friend of ours as well that was running ProPresenter. This is a corporate event. It had, the venue was a small conference room, or a slightly smaller conference room, about 150 people in attendance. The screen was 4,200 pixels wide by 1,680 pixels tall, filled up the ballroom that we were in. Running PvP to run all of the graphics that were played, the video playback, the background graphics, and to lay out all the different live camera shots that we needed to take, as well as all the slides that were coming in from ProPresenter. That was kind of interesting in and of itself. So all the mapping again done in PvP. A number of different inputs from ProPresenter. We had inputs from ProPresenter for full screen graphics. We had inputs from ProPresenter for multi-screen graphics, which we'll talk about in a little bit. In addition, we were taking live video camera inputs from the switcher when we needed to take those shots as well. But we're also doing live outputs for streaming purposes, so we needed to provide not only the odd aspect ratio videos that we were playing out to the main screen, we also needed to be able to provide 16:9 versions of those, which are cropped or scaled as the case may be, to that live stream. So that's how PvP was used. It was doing exactly what it was designed to do, which is to take content in all these various formats, allow you to resize them and manipulate them. It really added a whole lot of power. I don't know how you'd do anything without PvP for this kind of thing. But again, one of the main inputs into the software was ProPresenter, and so I want to introduce to you to Rachel. Rachel is our ProPresenter operator for this show, and Rachel had a great fun time.
Yeah, so like Brad said, our original plan was normal PowerPoint, corporate, cool, we'll run it on a separate machine, put it into PvP, easy to go. Then we started rehearsals, and they were like, wait, but I want this slide here, and this slide here, and this slide here. And we had this moment of, well, PowerPoint doesn't exactly work that way. So we did a little lift and shift. We already had an NDI feed going from ProPresenter to PvP to do some like lower third type name overlays to go on the wall. So we already had that line set up, and we were like, wait a second, we have that line set up, let's utilize it. So we had a full 4,200 by 1680 NDI feed to overlay over the entire wall. And so what we started doing was we took that full LED wall raster and within the editor, put the slides in as slide objects. So we could put this slide here, this slide here, this came here, so that instead of clicking all over the place, where are we going, where's this here, there, every single slide was 3 individual slides placed wherever they needed to go. So that was a fun little lift and shift, took a long time to build them out. So instead of just dropping them all in as media elements, every single click of a presenter had to be 3 slide objects on a slide. So that was a fun challenge, but we made it work. So Pro definitely gave us the flexibility that we needed. So I was handed in their PowerPoint decks, had a bunch of notes that they wanted. So we were able to, depending on what part of the slides it was, we used the slide note function to put in their notes for most of them, and that's what went out our second competence monitor. But then for another part in the whole presentations of everything, they wanted 2 separate, basically, competence monitor prompters at the same time. So the way we did that was we had one of them go out the announcements layer so that it could be run independently. That was basically giving them a live run of show. And I was running that out the announcements layer. And then the other one, we used the slide targets to be stage only, so I could run each of them independently. And we also were running lower thirds, so we did that on the props layer. So we had 3 separate, basically whole presentations going on. We had props doing all the lower thirds, going out one main output. We had one DSM going down the announcements layer that was actually referencing a screen that doesn't exist. And then the third one was going out the regular downstage monitor, but using targets to only put it on stage, because we were using everything everywhere all at once.
We talk a lot about how ProPresenter is such a phenomenal tool with all the different functionality that it provides. But in the end, it all comes down to, yeah, you can provide the tools, but it all comes down to how the carpenter actually uses it. And Rachel is a phenomenal carpenter in this respect. So it was a great fun to work with her, alongside her. We're in a very, very tight space here. But we had a great show. The client was thrilled. And we're just really excited about the capabilities, what our software was able to do to power this particular show.